Hi, this is Hayley from the Huddo Boards team. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can use the Huddo Boards Outlook plugin. We have two integrations into Microsoft Outlook, and these work whether you are using the Outlook desktop version or the web version. The first thing to do is to check if Huddo Boards Outlook plugin has been enabled in your Outlook. You can come to Get Add-ins to check if you can find Huddo Boards. If you start to type and Huddo Boards and you don't see, if you see that it's not found, it may mean that the permissions within your Microsoft tenant require that you have an IT administrator add Huddo Boards Outlook plugin into the tenant. If that's the case, we have some information that you can provide to your IT administrator for them to be able to add Huddo Boards in. You'll find a link to the help doc of how an IT administrator can add in the Huddo Boards Outlook plugin in the YouTube description. Please feel free to send that on to your IT administrator. Or if you have any questions about locating that document, please feel free to reach out to us at hello@huddo.com. So once you have the Huddo Boards Outlook plugin in your Outlook environment, you can use one of two integrations. And like I said, these work both from the desktop version of Outlook or the web version of Outlook. So for the desktop, what we're looking at here is an email that has come into my inbox and it's relevant to one of the boards that I'm working on. So I'm going to use our first point of integration, and that is to save this email here as a card in Huddo Boards. So I'm clicking on my icon here in the home ribbon, and it's opened up a window here on the right hand side. Now my title here for my card has been pulled across from the subject of the email, but I can always come in and edit this if I want. I've added in a little bit of extra description here. Include email body. Make sure that this button is turned on because that's the content of the email here. Here you can choose the board that you would like to send it to. At the moment it's pulling the board that I was most recently accessing, but of course you can choose any of the boards that you participate in. I can also say which list I would like it to sit under. So for this one I'm going to put in to do. And I can even assign a due date, and I will say that this is due on Friday, and I can assign it to a team member if required as well. So here I've got a whole list of the team members who are participating in this board. I'm just going to assign it to myself for the moment. I will press create, and that is going to create the card for me in my board. But let's have a look at what that looks like. So as I mentioned, I'm sending it to this transition to working from home board. I popped it under the to-do list so I can see it here. I can see that it's got a due date, 25th of June, and also it's been assigned to myself. If I click in, we can have a look at what this looks like. We've got the title of the card here, and this is the extra information that I added in. We've got the body of the email, due date, and assignment. So this is a really nice way of being able to share emails and information relevant to a project or a board that you're working on without having to forward the email on. And if this was relevant to anyone else in my team, I might use the @ symbol and tag my colleague Andrew and say, this came through, it might be of interest to you. So I've also mentioned Andrew here for him to come and have a look at this as well. So that's the first point of integration into Huddo Boards. I've come across to Outlook for Web to show you how you can save an email as a card, just like what we saw in the desktop version, but via the web. So here I've got my email that is relevant to one of the boards that I'm working on. I'm going to come across to the More Actions button and select Huddo Boards. From here, the steps are exactly the same. So work through your panel to confirm your title, body of the email that is turned on, the board you'd like, list, due date and assignment, and then press create. So we've now seen the first integration of Huddo boards into Microsoft Outlook from the desktop and web version. So our next point of integration for Huddo boards into Outlook is that we can attach a board, a card or a list as a link in an email to another member of that same board. So I have started an email to my colleague Andrew, and I've given it a title and I've given him a message to say that our project board is up and running. So now I'm going to come up to the ribbon at the top where it says attach board or card, Huddo boards. It will open the panel on the right hand side, and I can select any board that I'm working on, or I can even drill down and choose a particular list. So these sit at the top and then the tasks sit underneath. So if I wanted to have a link to a very specific task, maybe one that Andrew is working on, I could send that through. For the moment, I'm just going to attach a link to the main board. So I've pressed attach and it's provided me with a link. So just a reminder that you can only send a link to a user who is also part of that board. If you send it to someone who is not participating in that board as a member, they will get an error message saying they're not authorized to access. So for this same integration, to use this via the Outlook web application, you come across to your Outlook web and start your email. Then you come to the more actions ... at the bottom and select Huddo boards. That'll open the right hand side window pane, and again here it's the exact same steps as we saw in the desktop version for the Huddo boards plugin, and we can choose our board or select a specific list or card and then attach. When you're done with that and you've attached your link, then send on to your colleague. So that concludes our short video on how you can use the Huddo Boards plugin for Microsoft Outlook. In this short video, we saw that we can create cards from emails in our inbox to send to a board that we are working on, and that we can also attach links to a board, list or card in an email to send on to colleagues. If you have any questions about using Huddo Boards plugin for Outlook, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at hello@huddo.com. Remember to check the YouTube description for a link to the help doc that can be passed along to your IT administrator. Thanks for watching, and talk again soon. Bye.